Hi everybody, it's Sally from Sally Stampers. Thank you for joining me today. Today I am bringing you this really gorgeous Tealight Selection Box, and inside, my lid is very secure. Inside we have a selection of tea lights, but not only do we have these beautiful tea lights, but we also have a second layer underneath. Because that's what happens with selection boxes, or chocolate boxes, you get a layer and then another layer underneath. And so that was what I decided, and I actually had the idea of stamping a little sentiment on that card, but then I completely forgot as I was making this up, so silly me. So this is my super tight fitting lid, excuse me, Christmas selection box. So I'm going to show you how to make it. And you may have noticed that I'm using an old favourite, Snowflakes Sentiments. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore all of the new products in the catalogue, but sometimes it's nice to go back and use an old one, isn't it? An old favourite. So that's what I've done. So just sort my trimmer and scoreboard out. So glitter everywhere. So to start off with, for your base, so I don't get them mixed up, you'll need a sheet of cardstock that is 7.5 by 6 inches. Glitter all over my scoring board too, do apologise. And so 7.5 by 6 inches, which is 19.1 by 15.3 centimetres, and we're simply going to score at 1.5 inches on all four sides, which is 3.8 centimetres. Very precise, I know. So that is my base, and very simple and very what am I looking for? Scissors. Very simple, very usual way of doing our boxes. We're just going to burnish those score lines and then cut the tabs in the four corners. So literally just the 4 squares in the 4 corners. We're just going to cut some wedges out, and like I said, all 4 corners. Beautiful, beautiful. I love snowflakes. I love Christmas. And I love tea lights, so this pretty much combines all of my favourites. And I've decided to go with the more established colours of Cherry Cobbler and Garden Green. I found that I was very tempted to lean towards the Tranquil Tide and Merry Mellow colours this year. I just seem to keep doing all my projects in those colours. And so I decided for this one that no, I was actually going to go back to traditional. So just pop some adhesive on those tabs. You might be able to hear my little dogs trapping about on the floor again. I gave them a huge treat earlier because I've got several videos to do. But one of them generally eats a heck of a lot quicker than the other. And so I suspect she's come in here to hide and say that the other one is not pinching what she hasn't managed to eat. Alright, just sliding that one across there because it just moves slightly. And then, oops, just adhere these tabs, and as you can see I'm using wet glue again. Lovely Tombow. So there we go. So that is your base, very simple. So I'm just going to pop my first layer of tea lights in. These are the ones that are a little bit bashed and out of shape. So pop my tea lights in, and I then have a small panel that just sits inside, and this measures, well, it's 4.5 by 3 minus 1/16 of an inch, so it's literally just minus a thin slither just so that it sits inside, and actually in centimetres that is 11.3 by 7.5, so it's a nice easy size. And then my second layer of candles can go in. And then I'm going to put that to one side because we need to do our lid. And so for our lid we need a piece of cardstock that is 6.5 inches by 5, which is 16.5 by 12.7. Nearly forgot my little shim, and this needs to be scored at 1 inch on all 4 sides, which is 2.5 centimetres. And then, as we do with all of them, the same repeat pattern again. Just fold and burnish, oops, those 4 lines, and cut our wedges out of those 4 corners. And then before you adhere it all together, we need to add our first little panel. So just finish that last one there. So then we need to add a whisper white layer, which is 4.25 by 2 3/4, or 11 by 7.2. So I'm just simply going to pop this on the top, and if you wanted to add more bling, you could make this silver foil or silver glimmer. That would also look very nice. And then our final red cherry cobbler layer is 4 by 2.5 inches, or 10.5 centimetres by 6.7. All the measurements on my blog as always, but I'm going to pop this to one side. In fact, no, I'm not, I'm fibbing. I'm going to glue this so that it can be drying whilst I do this, because I need this to be fairly dry for when I do my ribbon around the edge. So add that glue on there. And then, as you know, I didn't do this with the other one, hence it being snug fitting, for want of a better phrase. Hey, you can stick on there. So I'll just give that, this is why I don't use wet glue greatly, because I get frustrated and I don't have the patience to wait for it to dry. So as you know, I pop one end on there, and then spin it round, and then add this one. Make sure they're all in place, and I'm actually going to leave that on there. Hopefully they'll use that as it's to hold it in place. So, beautiful embossing buddy and my Versamark, and then I need my stamp. So I have my block for my sentiment, and then I have a smaller block for my snowflakes. So I'm going to give this a brush over with my embossing buddy, just to get rid of any greases and static from my fingers, which I then touch. No, I didn't. And then Versamark my sentiment into the centre, and then with the snowflakes I simply started, I can't really see here because I don't want to get my head in the camera, and that's not straight, is it? And I just went along with my snowflakes and decorated the outside. And then if you get to here and it's not quite right, you can carefully add your snowflake singularly. Now that actually hasn't worked out as well as the last one, but that's what happens. My white embossing powder. Again, if you wanted to add bling, you can use silver or gold here. And then we're just going to completely cover this with the white. not my best, but that is because I'm not looking right directly over the top of it. And then bringing in the noisy heat tool just to finish those off. Embossing powder all over my grid sheet now. So give these a good heat. I do apologise, literally that's as far as my heat tool will go, which is frustrating. But they soon start to take, and then thankfully they don't take too long once you've started. I have something quite exciting coming for you tomorrow, which again involves snowflakes. So make sure you check out my my blog tomorrow, because there is an exciting information coming your way tomorrow. So make sure you check that out. So there's my not very clever box lid layer that I'm literally just going to pop on the top here. And as I said, it's only wonky because of my not looking over it. This one is slightly better. And then to decorate this, I used my favourite punch, my sprig punch, which, as you know, is one of my old favourites. And then I just needed, which as usual I forgot to get out, I'm just trying to grab now, some scrap cherry cobbler here that I'm thinking is just perfect for that little sprig. And then just a single glue dot on the bottom there, which just hides that away, and that goes just there. And then we're just simply going to add some pearls and rhinestones when I can find them. Here are my pearls, so I'm going for the medium-sized ones on here. And like I said, it's entirely up to you how far you go with decorating this, and how much you want to bling it, I guess, for want of a better phrase. But I thought this was quite pretty if I added rhinestones to the centre of all the snowflakes. It is a little time consuming, not a lot, but it does take a minute or two. So we're just going to whiz these through. So pop these on, and then the last little bit is the ribbon that goes around the top of the lid. Now obviously if you want to leave yours at this stage without the ribbon, that's fine. And this is obviously why I like to leave my boxes to dry a little. Slide that out of the way a minute. And then one more just there. So that's that bit done, get rid of them. And then I just need to add two little things. Whoops. The first one is the little notches that you need. I don't know if you can see, actually better. The little notches that you need. Now yes, I know I should have done it before I put the lid on and glued it all up, but I never remember. The good thing is that this is quite a deep side, so actually it's not a bad thing. It's not hard to, I'm just gauging the centre and just popping those two little nuggets out there. And then we'll pop this back on. And the only reason this is catching is because I do that, I get that bit caught, which is most frustrating. There we go. So that's that bit done. And then my ribbon is the beautiful silver edged, silver edged metallic ribbon, metallic edge ribbon, whichever way round you wish to say it. And again, I've just kind of guessed roughly how long I need that piece of ribbon to be. I'm then going to put some lovely tearing tape on it. So I'm literally just going to run, not like that because that's not straight. Let's try again. Run my tearing tape along the centre of my ribbon, trying to keep it straight, but it's not happening very well. And then I just want to cut the edge of that bit straight. And then again, just simply take the backing off, trying to keep it flat and not stuck to everything. And then you can either take the lid off or leave it on for this. I find leaving it on is better because it's more sturdier with the box. And then I'm just sort of eyeballing the centre, dropping my box lid on there, pressing it down, and then we're just going to wrap it around the box. That's not going to centrally end there, but never mind. Oh, it's just a fraction too short, but it's okay because I can be technical with that and put my bow to the side. Obviously I did that on purpose just for it to be a little bit different. Oh my dear, never mind. So just make my bow a little bit prettier. I don't quite know what's happened here. Let me try that again because I really wasn't happy with that bow. That's better. Okay, so there's my bow. I just need to trim the tails. And then once you're happy with your bow, which if you're like me you never will be, you just keep fiddling with it. And it's just simply a glue dot on the back, and then you cover the join. So hopefully that won't be too noticeable. And it's slightly to the side now, just so that it's hidden. But those are my Tealight selection boxes. I hope you like them. I hope it's given you some inspiration on reusing them beautiful snowflake sentiments, and new with old, a little bit of the sprig punch too. I hope you like it, guys, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye!